What's up, it's Avery Yapps. I recently made a video about Doomer commentary channels. We discussed how this genre engagement farms with sad wojaks in the thumbnail and depressing ass titles. Today we're going to shift gears a little bit and we're going to point the cannon at financial doomers. And oftentimes they overlap. Typically after you watch a COD commentary video where the host talks about how he got mogged at the bus stop and women don't like him and therefore society is crumbling, well, you'll go over to his channel and then you'll scroll through some of his backlog of content. 9 times out of 10, you can expect to find a video about how the world economy is going to crash or the dollar is going to zero, some variation of that title. These videos serve as a break from the routine of storytime videos about being a sub-5 male with a receding hairline. Instead, they seek to capitalize on any financial anxiety their audience might be feeling. I binge-watched as many of them as I could find for this video, and let me tell you, they are depressing as fuck. You can expect the commentator to tell a story about how they went to the grocery store and they go, all the prices are higher than the last time I was here. The world is coming to an end. And I get it, we all feel frustration about inflation. And I'm not saying that these people should stop posting this content altogether. Hell, they can upload whatever they want. And I don't intend for this to be directed at all towards the Call of Duty commentators who talk about financial shit as the main theme of their channel. If you're a business or finance commentator, then of course inflation's going to come up as a necessity for what you're talking about in terms of subject matter. And there's plenty of YouTubers who just so happen to give their financial take over Call of Duty gameplay. I like those guys. This is not directed towards them at all. Actually, they should keep it up. I think what they're doing is useful. My criticism is directed towards those who use financial doomerism purely for the sake of ragebait. And then you watch the video and it's the same formula they're using in their woe is me content. They complain about the problem without offering a solution and cite some graph or news headline about the coming recession, tell us we're all cooked, say sub to my channel, and then dip. All in, they should be able to get about a 20-minute video out of it if they pad the runtime with some story about how this time they went to the mall, it was more expensive than last time. And then the algorithm loves it because you have a bunch of people arguing in the comments about the end of the world, and the comment section is essentially semi-related to the video. It's pure toxicity, and it uses the exact same formula and style and packaging as they use when they talk about why the dating market's cooked, for example. And then you've got the hybrid version of the financial doomer commentator, the type to prompt AI to generate a script for them that leans towards a pessimistic market analysis and predictions. And these guys are fucking experts at wasting your time. They'll do the clickbait thumbnail and title, promising to potential viewers that this is the video that has the proof the new Great Depression is returning. Just click this video and you'll know. This current year is the time when it's gonna happen. And then you click the video and essentially they gaslight you. They just read the script that the AI generated for them. And of course it's filled with facts and buzzwords. So in its own way it's slightly more useful than the other form of doomer financial content, but it's a total waste of time. I mean, sure, the AI probably sources all the facts and information from legitimate sources, so you're not really learning anything new that you couldn't get by just watching boomer news. Like, you'd probably be better off just watching the regular market analysis on the legacy media. I would say the real damage that's done by this form of content is less so the shit that's said in the video, but more the thumbnail and title combo, and the fact that the algorithm pushes it to people who are fans of just Call of Duty commentary in general. For example, I'd watch a COD video and then later on I'm just scrolling through my feed looking for something to watch and everything is telling me that the financial world is collapsing. And I can imagine how that would be jarring to people who are just casually scrolling. Like, nobody's going to take 20 minutes to analyze the video and find out that it actually has no substance. Rather, they'll probably quickly scroll past it, but their brain will pick up the fear-mongering and the propaganda of the thumbnail. It's like doing Doomer flashcards. NPCs get coated with brief but effective microdoses of financial brain rot that contributes to their overall worldview. I'd bet it comes out later in unpredictable ways. Like, you might hear your coworker ranting loudly in the break room about how nobody will be able to afford a car next year. And if you're a Zoomer or a millennial, this might sound stupid, but this shit has real effects and visible effects on boomers and Gen X. Actually, I know from personal experience this has serious consequences when it comes to the mentality of young people. Like, I was a pretty young kid in 2008, so my first impression about the financial world was that just everything was always crashing. I was pretty much convinced that the entire economic world was destined for complete destruction, which granted isn't too far off from the truth, nothing lasts forever, but they had me convinced for a really long time that everything was coming to an end like that day. It didn't necessarily bother me too much, I essentially just internalized it and it was part of the way I viewed the world. And then when I got older, I realized that everything is essentially fake and the entire economy is just smoke and mirrors. At the end of the day, things only crash when they're designed to. And if things are meant to keep going by the people who are in control, then they just simply will, until that's not in the best interest of the ruling class, and then just they simply won't anymore. But unless you're playing the market and you're using market information and analysis to actually make some sort of profit in the long term or the short end, watching doom and gloom end of the financial world propaganda, it's not really anything but a form of entertainment. And a lot of people do get entertained by fear-mongering. They get some sort of joy out of being triggered that way. So in a way, there's a demand for it. Whether you want to call it an artificial demand or not, there is a demand, and wherever there's a demand, there's plenty of suppliers. And shit, if you're into that sort of thing, like you get some sort of joy out of watching people talk about how the economy is coming to an end, shit, then just, if that gets your rocks off, go for it, bud. Or maybe you take a look at how many Call of Duty commentators are making doomer financial content and you see it as some sort of market indicator. Twitter also, to briefly mention, is a cesspool of ragebait. I'm still considering whether or not I should even make a video called Why Twitter is Doomer Coded, but I feel like people already know that. I recently made a new Twitter and I noticed that you don't even have to interact with too many posts before the algorithm starts to recommend things that are completely just designed to trigger you. And I get why people watch it. They want to know what's going on in the world, but I just think that having some sort of misdirected rage toward everything, it's just not healthy in the long term. The main piece of advice that I could give to combat this form of doomerism is just focus on your own lived experience. If you believe the economy is going to crash, then just use that information objectively. Don't allow it to have some sort of emotional reaction in you. You know, buy some Bitcoin if that's your thing, or invest your money accordingly. I can say that just perseverating on these larger than life topics that you see online, it's just doing no good in your personal well-being. Play the market before the market can play you. And be very wary when you're having casual conversations with people about financial topics. Always be asking yourself, is this guy a dumbass? What is his social media news feed actually telling him? Are any of these ideas his own? Very few people think for themselves these days, especially when they're talking about money. And you never know when you're dealing with an NPC, or just somebody who's spewing information that they heard online somewhere and passing it off as their own. I think it's important to listen to what people say while you hear them jibber-jabber around you, but listen very cautiously. Almost listen for research purposes just to study how these people think. If you talk to someone in real life and all they do is complain about why they'll never be able to afford a house, you can tell a lot about that person's personality. And you can get a look firsthand at the actual real-world effects that this social media content actually has on people's real-life thoughts and actions. Social media as a whole has a big part to play in moving the economic needle of the way things are bought and sold in the world. So just err on a side of caution. You can never know for sure why people say what they say or why they do what they do. And I'd say that's especially true anytime you see financial doomerism propagated online. It's easy to say the YouTubers just want ad revenue, but there's oftentimes something below the surface with certain times you see this shit. It's like, what sort of real life influence are these people trying to have? Or if they don't have their own agenda, who's their puppet master? I mean, why would the algorithm be suggesting this much doomer financial content? It's just some food for thought. And that's about all I have to say. Thanks for watching to the end. So long, everybody. This is Avery Yapps signing out.